Good evening, everybody. This is our latest in our series of reservation system updates for the public. My name is Alex Kriska. I'm the general manager of Steamship Authority. I'm accompanied here by Mark Amundson, our COO and the project lead for this project, Allison Fletcher, our director of shoreside operations, and Ian Nichols, our trusty cameraman here today. And then online, of course, Tom Manis, from Givus, who's helps keep us all online. We have a slide deck to review. Wow. So again, we're talking about our True North project, which is the overarching reservation system that we're replacing, we're instituting here at the Steamship Authority. And we're gonna be talking about some of the policy changes that we're looking at for this next round of policy changes today. So we'll start with first quick overview of some of the things we want to talk about, the implementation timeline, some of the highlights of the items that we're going to feature in this new system, and then the policies that we're going to be talking about is preferred spaces, cancellation policy, the new change policy, the new no-show policy. We're going to talk about coupon book subscriptions, gift cards, furlough fare policy. That's furlough not for prisoners, that's for our military personnel, motorcycle policy. Then we'll talk about next steps, and at the end we will thank you for joining us, and I will start off right now and thank you for joining us. We appreciate all the interest and all the feedback that we're going to get from tonight. So this is the overall implementation timeline that we have for the projects. We started this a couple of years ago with a procurement process where we went out and put out an RFP, a request for proposals, to find a system. Our charge was by the board, our board of governors for the Steamship Authority, was to find a reservation system that was essentially off the shelf. Or the current reservation system that we're using is one that we've had for decades, and it started as a very simple system. It's in a computer language that's no longer used, and over the years we've added modules, added processes, added customizations to it, so it looks kind of like Frankenstein's monster right now. It's impossible to replicate, and it's very difficult to manage. Our trucks department, who manages all our commercial shipping, spends months every year just implementing all the truck reservations that we need. It's a highly manual, behind the scenes system, and we had trouble with it in the past. I know that there's been times where the system has crashed during the head start, so we really needed a new system, a modern system in modern computer language. And the board tasked us with going out and finding a new reservation system, one that's been tried and true, used by other systems. And through that process, we found our current vendor, Adia, which is a worldwide company. They're based in Italy, but they have clients all over Europe and even clients here in the US, namely BC Ferries out in Vancouver, British Columbia. So we selected them, and we've been in the process of configuring their system for our implementation with us. And so we're now coming up to summer of 2026, where we'll be testing some of the new systems, but we're still in the configuration stage. We're still looking for feedback on some of the policies that we have to implement and some of the things that are different in their system compared to what we have now. So that's what we're talking about now. But we'll roll into summer. We're going to do testing where we have a lot of shoreside hardware that we have to implement. We're going to start a phased launch later this year, where we'll start slowly and start just with trucks and then roll into the next group, and hopefully by early next year everybody will be using this new system. But between now and then, there's going to be a lot of feedback loops, there's going to be a lot of training, a lot of communication coming out from us as to how this system is going to work, how we hope that people use it, and we'll be looking for your help to make that all happen. So this is kind of highlighted some of the services that are continuing on with the current system, that we're not going away with them. We still gonna have the excursion program, the preferred program, those aren't going away, we're still gonna reserve spaces for the preferred program that get released 30 days, 7 days, 1 day out. Drive on, drive off services out in Nantucket, they're gonna stick around, we're gonna have standbys. We'll still use Head Start, where island residents, members of the preferred program, you get a head start on booking tickets. Again, there's gonna be a standby in Nantucket, there's gonna be a wait list, we'll still have the blue line down on the Woods Hole, Martha's Vineyard Run. Medical program's not going away, senior discount's not going away. Active service discount program's not going away, as I mentioned earlier, there's the furlough program is a slight change, but it's not going away, we're actually gonna make it a lot easier. The student excursion program also is not going to go away, and of course, there's always going to be emergency support. We know that's critical for island residents. So jumping into the policies, and I'm going to be running through this. We will have plenty of time at the end. As many of you already know, I tend to talk very quickly, so there's going to be plenty of time at the end for questions and comments and suggestions. So let's start off with preferred spaces. There's no change. We're gonna keep preferred spaces as they are, so there's a 30-day preferred space that's gonna be made available, 14-day spaces will be opening up in 7 days, just like we have it now. That's not changing. Cancellation policy. That's also not changing. Cancellations made 15 days or more before the day of sailing are gonna be refunded, except for $10 service charge, just as it is now. Cancellations 0 to 14 days, receive no refund. Can be used in the future. Can be used.
You can use that for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't change those change those dates and make them use it in the future. New change policy. So currently, at least 1 hour before you can make a change. The first change is free. All future changes cost $10 each time you want to make a change. And the new policy. It's the new policy.
Yeah.
Oh, at least 1 hour before, you can still make a change up to 1 hour before your time of travel. The only change now is that all changes, not just the first one, all changes will cost $10. The only change here is that the first change also costs $10, and then all subsequent changes cost $10 as well. The new no-show policy. Reservation automatic goes into pending status if you're no-show. With notice, the passenger can be the passenger ticket on the reservation can be reused, and you can stand by for trips that same day with an unused reservation. With no notice, the high-speed ticket can also be used later. The new policy is with no notice, there is no refund. With notice, passenger ticket reservation can be reused. The ticket cannot be reused for standby, and with notice, a high-speed ticket can be used later. We're also the point of this policy, one of the things we're looking at doing, we really want to know when people are not going to be able to make a boat, so that we can try to either resell the space or take a standby passenger or a waitlist passenger on that boat. So we're encouraging passengers, drivers to contact either the terminal or the reservation office to let us know that you're not going to make it if you're running late. If there's backup on the bridge, you're not going to make it, let us know so that we can help you get on another boat. We're not going to necessarily penalize you. We want to make sure you can get on a boat, but we also need to know ahead of time so that we can manage our traffic as well. So it's important that, please, the key phrase here is no notice, no refund. Please let us know so we can work with you and get you on a boat. Again, so if we don't know that you're not coming, we can't necessarily reallocate that space to somebody who's on standby that day. We really do want to fill every single boat and make it as most efficient as possible, keep the parking lots empty. So please let us know if you're not going to make it or if you're going to be late, especially if you're going to be late. I know so we do have that option that you can change the ticket up until an hour before. Please take advantage of that. If you are trying to make it, we don't want you to race to the dock. We want you to take your time and be safe. So please give a call. We're looking at improving our telephone system so that we can get all those calls and make sure we do acknowledge them all. And please, again, call, let us know. The new coupon book subscriptions. There's multiple one-way auto tickets or can be bundles at discounted rate. Most of them are subject to an expiration date, and coupons can be returned to the coupon book upon a cancellation. The new policy really, the only real change is that we're no longer calling it a coupon book, we're calling them subscriptions. Let me say that again, subscriptions. Subscriptions, they're gonna be subscriptions, subscription book instead of a coupon book, that's the only change. So again, that's just a different name. And the reason why you'll find there's a number of things we're doing that are just name changes, like our standby and the wait list. Some of these things are already baked into the DIA program, and they're not something that we can change because it's what they use in their system wide for all their customers. So they call them subscription books, so that's something we have to adopt, we have to adjust for that. And that's gonna be part of the learning process that we go through as we get ready to roll this out over the next 6 to 8 months. Gift cards. We're still gonna have gift cards currently. Gift cards are physical only. There's no digital option. The new policy is gonna be, and they can be for any incremental amount. The new policy is, all cards will be digital. You can buy them at home on your laptop computer or on your desktop, whichever you have. You can buy them on your phone. You will also be able to go into a ticket office and buy it. You can also call our Mashpee reservation office and purchase it over the phone, but they will be digitally sent to you by email. And they will be sold in increments $5, $10, $25, $100, just like going down to the store and buying an Amazon gift card or a restaurant gift card. They come in those kind of increments. And nice thing here is you can print it at home and put it in an envelope and give it away as a gift. Now here's the new furlough policy I was talking about before for people in the military. Current policies, you have to have an active service card, traveling at your own expense. The person has to be in uniform, and if you're not in uniform, you have to have written orders, printed out orders. The new policy, all you need to have is your active service card. Much easier, much simpler for you. Slight change in our motorcycle policies. Currently, we have multiple types of vehicles qualify apparently as a motorcycle. We're limiting that now to what is actually traditionally just a motorcycle. So the big trikes, the big 3-wheel motorcycles, those if they're the size of a car, they're gonna be treated as a vehicle. So it's just gonna be a standard size motorcycle is what's considered a motorcycle. We're also doing away with the multi-island excursion fare because it's something that's just not used. That's it for the policy changes. There's pretty quick and dirty. Our next steps, like I said at the beginning, we're gonna be taking feedback here today, and happy to hear it all. We've been on Nantucket, we've been on Martha's Vineyard, and had some great feedback. So I welcome the feedback here as well. We're gonna take that information, take it to our board, and talk first to the IT steering committee, talk to them about next steps, and then when we finally go to the board for policy vote, that'll come later. But we're gonna assess, any feedback we get here, we'll assess for possible strategic implementations and see what it means for how we implement this into the new system. And then, of course, we'll draft the new policies, take them to the board for review and to vote, and have them discuss any further changes they may want to do. So then beyond that, we'll continuing with the configuration of the system, and then hopefully get into testing here with our beta testers very soon. So if you're interested in being a beta tester and participating in this and actually testing out the system ahead of your friends, please send an email to truenorth@steamshipauthority.com and we will add you to the beta list. So that is all I have right now. Mark, do you have anything to add?
I think you said it well.
Okay, Allison? Tom? Before we open it up to. All right, we will open it up to public feedback. Anybody have any questions, thoughts, suggestions? Excellent. All right, start at the top, Mr. Gavin.
Um, Great job. One question with respect to the missed reservation issue. You hinted at it in terms of expanding call center capability. I'm concerned that it's going to be really, really important to make sure that there is someone to take a phone call as long as we're running boats during the day because of this issue. And then the question I have is, with respect to the policy change where standby will not be available same day for somebody that misses a reservation, is that misses and doesn't contact us first, or is that misses and does contact us first, but still can't use standby for that day?
That's, to answer your second question, is misses and does not contact us. The
So
key, we really want people to contact us and work with, we realize this is a brand new system. It's gonna take a lot of, it's a huge learning curve for everybody, us, as well as the public. So we're, especially in the first year, we're gonna be doing everything we can to work with the traveling public. So, and I think forever, we're gonna do that. So if we really want to encourage people to let us know, as early as possible if they're not gonna be able to make a reservation. If they need to change a reservation weeks ahead of time, yeah, please call us, let us know. If you can't do it online, please call us, let us know. And if you're the day of, if you're racing down the highway trying to get to us, please let us know and we will work with you to get you on a boat. That's absolutely, that's something we're committing to. And then as far as the telephone system, yeah, we're looking at, we realize that if you call the terminal manager might be out on the dock walking around. The agents might not be able to get to the phone, so we're looking at figuring out a way to upgrade our phone system and expand our hours at the Mashpee office. That's something we're actively looking at, and trying to see how we can do that in the most effective way possible.
Great, thanks.
Matt or Lisa.
You have your audio is muted, Matt.
Whoops, sorry about that. This is Matt. First of all, thank you for the info session. Quick question as it relates to making auto reservations, in the, let's say the early winter. I currently rent my home, not very much, but I do rent it. And I would like to be able to make a auto reservation, but transfer it to a party down the road once I know who is renting my home. Will that capability still exist in the new system?
No, not currently in the new system. That is a policy we just passed recently. There's not, but we are re-looking at that policy actually we want to be able to work with people. We understand there's a lot of people that rely on the rental income from their housing. So we would ask you to, when you do that and you have a ticket in hand, Angela, I'm gonna put a lot on you today, so I hope you're ready for it. We're gonna ask you to call Mashpee and work with them, and then they're gonna work it out. We're clarifying that. We had changed that policy last month, but we recognize that then subsequently we started re-looking at that, realizing that might be a little bit too draconian, at least initially. So we're gonna work with you. So please, if you do that, give us a call. We'll work with you.
Okay. Yeah, no, thank you for the flexibility. I think you'll find quite a few people fall into that boat, no pun intended. Thank you.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we pulled the data, we realized there was a lot more people doing it than we had anecdotally realized. And so we realized that that's something we need to be much more flexible about.
Great. Thank you once again.
Christine, hi there.
Thank you for holding these sessions. So I remember in the last in-person meeting we had on the island, there was great concern over, especially voiced by one individual, about the $10 fee for every change. And understanding that you want to know as early as possible if people need to change a reservation. I'm sure people are going to hold off until they absolutely have to change that reservation, which is sort of conflicting with your desire to have changes made as early as possible if they need to be. So I would encourage you to remain in support of waiving that $10 fee, at least for the first change in the reservation.
So yeah, thank you for the question, the comment. I appreciate it. It's something we've talked a lot about here, and we had that great discussion over in Martha's Vineyard at the museum there a couple weeks ago. I do recognize that. I understand it. I mean, some people might say, "Oh, it's just $10," but $10 is it's a couple cups of coffee at least at Starbucks. So I do appreciate it. It's a useful amount of money. The challenge that we have, and this is one of the things I go back to, we looked at an off-the-shelf product, and there are certain things that this product does, and it's true for all the software that we looked at. They have certain design setups that either there are certain configurations you can do. Like for this one, for the change fee, either we charge a change fee on every change, or we don't charge any change fee. So our current policy is we don't charge for the first one, but then we charge for every subsequent one. We elected to go to the idea that we'll charge for every change fee, but I recognize and I understand that that's a major change. So one of the things we did after that last session was that we want to kind of pull back. And so again, just like I said for the previous participant, call us and talk to us about that change fee. And the Mashpee Reservations Office, our ticket sellers at the dock, are going to have a lot of leeway, or a lot of they're gonna have a lot of responsibility, but they're also gonna have a lot of leeway in which they can make decisions, they can help people out, and they're gonna be able they can waive that $10 fee. So if somebody calls and says, "Hey, this is my first time, I need to make a change," then we'll help them out and make that happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? If anyone else has any questions?
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions? Again, we recognize that this is a big change. We're gonna try to make it as smooth as possible. One of the things we talked about after those last two sessions we had on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard were really informative to us, as were the previous ones as well. And we recognize that we want to make this as least impactful as it can be. Obviously, it's a new software system. It's going to be very impactful. There's no way around that. But as much as we can minimize the policy changes and those kind of financial constraints on the traveling public, we want to do that. So we're going to do the best we can. And where we can't, we're going to be flexible as far as having staff available to talk to people and work through the issues and find a great solution. Like I said, I talk really fast, so it's only 24 minutes in. Yes, Christine.
All right, so this doesn't have anything really to do with the system that's looking to be implemented, but can you please tell me what kind of activity you're seeing for the upcoming season? I know there are a lot of people very concerned about the changes with the steamship, having a close connection in the real estate and rental market out here. There are a lot of very concerned people about how this is going to roll out. And I'm just wondering if you have any data compared to prior years about the activity, the level of reservation bookings right now.
Well, I'll say as far as this system goes, this is not going to roll out until the end of the year. So this is not going to affect this summer season. I think as far as what we're looking at for this summer season, as far as I don't know that we've seen big changes.
No, it's been steady just like it was last year.
Yeah, there's no major change at this point that we're foreseeing.
Not for vehicles, so.
Not for vehicles anyway.
You're not seeing a dip, Allison, and are you getting flooded with calls with concerns about it?
No, not really. No more than we normally do, to be honest with you, because obviously everybody wants certain days, the weekends and whatnot, and those are obviously the first ones to sell out. But other than that, I mean, there's still space available like there always is. Unfortunately, it might be days you don't want to travel. But no, it doesn't seem to be any more than normal, to be honest with you.
Well, and here's another concern I have, which really doesn't have to do with implementing the new system, but And I appreciate the notification that you put out regarding the construction that's going to be happening on the Bourne Bridge. That's going to have a huge impact on people's timing to get to the boat on time. Are there any things that you're putting in place to deal with that? I know it's beyond your control, but again, I appreciate the information that you're putting out there to let people know, hey, plan accordingly. This is going to affect how you get here. So I'm just wondering, yeah, things happen, they're out of your control. I get it. But if somebody shows up and says, man, I got stuck at the bridge for an hour, and that's, I know, only happening, I think, between the end of April and the end of May, but who knows
Yeah.
about, yeah.
It's gonna be a good test, I think, is seeing how things work. I know when the actual construction goes on, they're not planning, or hopefully, we're not gonna have the same kind of impact, but this current work, I don't know if it started yet, but it's not starting imminently. It's gonna put a big strain on everything, and we would ask people, it'd be great to call. And let us know so that we can try to adjust accordingly. Our challenge is, I would love to be able to say, hey, we'll run boats later in the evening to try to keep up. But we are limited by our crew hours and how many hours a day they can work. Just like a trucker can only drive truck so many hours a day. Same thing with our boats. So we have certain hours that we're limited to. So we will do our best to keep the parking lots empty and get people on boats. And we certainly recognize, all our employees have been told about the potential delays that are happening. So we'll work with people as much as we can, but yeah, we are concerned, we can't just add boats at the end of the day, unfortunately.
And the good thing is, because there's no true standby, there is the blue line for Islanders on the Vineyard Run, but there's no standby for the general public. That means our reservations stay open online, no trips are being closed out. So if we have a bunch of people missing the 9:30, we start taking from the 10:45 to load them onto the 9:30. That opens up 10:45 tickets and so on and so forth. So, it does become a game of cat and mouse to get reservations, but there should be reservations available, because once certain vehicles don't show up, we take from other trips, and that frees up space again. So that domino effect is gonna greatly help too, and I'm not looking forward to this bridge work either, so.
Plus, I don't think we've seen the full implementation of the cross connector light. We didn't have that until the latter part of the summer season, so that's gonna add additional encumbrance into the trip.
I do have another question if nobody else has their hand up.
Yeah, Margaret Klugman has a question.
All right, so I deal with the business community out here quite a bit, and I'm just wondering what sort of feedback you're getting from our commercial users. I don't see them. They showed up a little bit, not this past meeting, but the one before. Concerns about booking reservations a year in advance, and then having a lottery system in place. What's happening with our commercial vehicle clients, and what kind of feedback are you getting from them?
Nothing's changed in the way they're booking their reservations. We've always had a lottery system, that goes by their commodity, and then they get a random lottery number chosen from there. We do, the bulks 3 times a year, like we do currently with our regular customers. We have been looking at potentially, depending on how things go in the new system, we might be able to break it up and have more bulks for them, so they don't have to be planning out 6 months to a year in advance. But the biggest concern for them is that, whereas now they turn in their packet and we have our truck supervisors, they manually enter in the information. Now the shippers are gonna be the ones entering in their own information. And also pending tickets was a big sticking point for them as well, not being able to have pending tickets. But there's really no change other than them having to actually enter their own reservations in instead of having the super truck coordinators do it, and then the pending ticket issue. Which we're still looking at.
Yeah, so we had,
So,
ahead of those meetings we had for the general public in the last couple of weeks, we had meetings with the shippers. And we're having ongoing discussions with them we're trying to minimize the impact with them as well. So that's one of the things on the cancellation, we looked at how we do cancellations, and we're trying to implement a system that's the same as it is currently in the new system. So we're working closely with all the commercial users.
Thank you.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello, I have a question. That troubling message you get due to unforeseen circumstances, your boat is canceled. Then what happens in this new system?
We only use unforeseen circumstances when it doesn't fit into one of our other cancellations, whether it be weather, mechanical, staffing. And those would be treated similar to how it's treated now. This system could, in theory, depending on how long it's gonna last for, rebook you onto other trips, or it could be handled by the terminal like it does currently now. So those two options are still gonna be available. Well, actually, now would be two options where it used to only be one.
So when you cancel boats and
We're still gonna try to get you home. Or to your appointments or wherever you're going. Whether it's you sit in the property like we do currently when a boat cancels. And we feed you in as there's space on the boats that are going. Or the system might be able to, well, it will be able to, it's just a matter of if we actually implement that part of it. We can actually have the system rebook you.
okay, thank you. We get no refunds, but you get to keep our money. That just always feels
Well,
bad.
if you're going, I mean, if the boat cancels
Yeah,
for whatever reason, like currently.
yeah,
And you decide not to travel, you do get a refund, and that would still be,
continue.
if you were on a canceled boat for whatever reason, yes, you could get a refund.
Thank you.
We're not keeping your money that way, that's. Not cool.
Okay.
Yes, Matt.
Yeah, the comment was made just a moment ago, given under the circumstance where a boat is canceled, that you would be rebooked. I think one of the difficult things, at least for me anyway, in the past, has been to sit on the dock and have fundamentally no idea when you're going to get over. So does the new system actually it does have the capability of rebooking you and presumably telling you about the rebooking so you have some general sense of when you might get over and eliminate that uncertainty?
Well, to a certain degree, yes. To a certain degree, in a perfect world, yes, if the boats are the same size and whatnot. So we had a challenge last week or 2 weeks ago when the Martha's Vineyard we had issues with the steering on the boat, and we had to cancel the first two runs out of Vineyard Haven. And we were able to put another boat in there as a backup. The governor, we happened to have it on site, and we put the governor, activated her and put her on site. And the challenge there was that the governor is smaller than the Martha's Vineyard. So we had two boatloads worth of trucks and cars that we were trying to rebook and get on the next boats. But because the governor is smaller, that became a challenge for us to do it. I think it took several hours before we were able to clear the parking lots on Vineyard Haven and Woods Hole. So unfortunately, the system can't automatically do it that way. It becomes a challenge or an opportunity, like say, for our terminal managers to figure out the best way to get people onto boats. And they worked very hard, and they spent, all day, the ground crew there, Vineyard Haven and Woods Hole, worked really hard to try to get people on boats. But unfortunately, that's a challenge. That is always gonna be a challenge. If a boat cancels and then you have another boat that comes in that's slightly smaller, we're gonna do our best to get people on those boats and as much as effectively as we can. But it is a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah, no, I can fully appreciate the challenge. I
Yeah.
guess my question really related to communicating to those persons affected, the family that's sitting in their car on the dock.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, that's,
Because right
that's,
now, the way I've done it is just grab anybody that looks in a position of authority and or in the office, and it's a big black hole fundamentally. So I just wanted to know if that had been tightened at all, so that so they give you some sense, you know, versus no sense, if that makes
well,
sense.
yeah, I mean, I can actually, I mean, I know that the terminal managers, I talked to the terminal manager at Vineyard Haven, and they go car to car and let people know they try to let them know what's going on. Sometimes they don't necessarily have an answer. They don't know when the boat is gonna be fixed, how quickly it's gonna turn around and be available. So I think they do try to relay as much information as possible. They try to let the people in the terminal buildings know so that they can relay the information. Again, that's a constant training opportunity for us at the Steamship Authority to let people know and to train our staff in how to communicate it out to people. We do send out automatic notifications go out to whoever has, whoever made the ticket reservation, so that email or that phone number gets an automatic information that a trip has been canceled. Going forward, the new system actually is gonna do a better job at that, because you can have multiple phone numbers that you send the notification to. But yes, that's something we found last week, that our people do the best they can to let people know what's going on. But we can do better. That's something we can do better at, and we need to work harder at. And I would love to say we can have a big old PA system in the parking lot, but that would ruin the experience for our neighbors. So we can't necessarily do that, but we can do something better about just walking around and communicating
Is
with
what's,
people.
Vineyard Haven does have, I don't wanna call it a curfew, but they do have restrictions on when you can make loud speaker announcements. And that's why for that first boat, they couldn't go on the loudspeaker and make general announcements, because they would have been breaking the rules of Vineyard Haven and Tisbury. So it's one of those situations that they literally had to go person to person, car to car. And they would do it as fast as they can, but unfortunately, everybody has questions, and you can't blame people for having questions when their boat's not going.
And in the new system, you'll be getting it both in text and email, or both. So it's gonna be a better system for notification when we have issues.
But we do recognize these people who are walk-ons, don't necessarily aren't gonna, they're not gonna get that message, so we regularly have training, we do training in the spring and in the fall, customer service training. And we try to make those as robust as possible, just to make sure all our people know. And it takes a certain personality to be able to go up and talk to somebody and answer them, and we recognize that people are frustrated and upset when a boat gets canceled. Totally understand that, I can appreciate that, and so we will continue to work on our messaging as well, but we do try our level best to make sure we get that message out to everybody in the parking lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if I could add so there's definitely enhanced communication functionality within the new system. There's a whole communications team that's looking through how can we enhance notification, looking at the different options, and also looking at it from a perspective of different types of travelers and the as was mentioned, there is expanded functionality in terms of folks being able to be able to track trips, or you can add, similar to like the airline, you'll be able to like add people onto a trip to be able to get notification. And while it won't be a day one, just because it's a new modern system, it opens the door for potential future improvements to communication, things like digital signage. So we're looking at not just at launch, where's the opportunity, but also, going forward in the future, what the new system, opens the door to, some new ways of communicating that we're trying to explore and think about, when it would make sense to roll those out.
No, that's good. It's good. I'm glad it's a new system that has that capability. So yeah, I look forward to it. I mean, and again, it's not the communication, at least for me anyway, that the boat's been canceled. I was told that when I checked in. The only other bit of information was the lane that I'm going to sit in for the next, unknown period of time. So any updates, even general updates, kind of can smooth feathers, even if it's not definitive. And I know it's a very difficult thing to do because it's a very fluid um, situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Tricia,
Hi, just a quick question on staffing levels for the summer. I know that was a huge issue last summer where boats would just be canceled for lack of staff. And obviously, safety is the priority. And I understand completely with number of hours someone can work, but just do you have plans in place to address that this summer? And if so, what are those?
Yes, we've been working on our long-term program of increasing the amount of deck officers, licensed deck officers and engineers. So we feel we're in a better position this year. We're improving. I think probably 2 years away, we're gonna be exactly where we want to be, but right now we're fully staffed and expect to have a good turnout for the summer.
Tricia, you're muted.
Oh, I was just going to say thank you. Thank you for the answer. I appreciate it.
thank you for the question, Tricia. Andrea, Adrian.
Adrian?
Hello, Adrian.
Sorry, I was muted.
All right.
I have a question regarding the current website and with the hope that these issues that I've had will be corrected with the new one and the new system. But there are a lot of policies, particularly the ones that you described earlier on in your presentation, that I've never heard of. And I've been a part-time vineyard resident for 20 years. I'm computer literate. I've been on your website a lot. So one example is the senior discount policy. I'm trying to figure out whether that's something that might apply to me. And I went onto your website just now and put that in the search bar. And I got things that are outdated. And when I clicked on some of them, I was brought right back to the homepage. So are those things being corrected and changed and made more usable?
Yes, the new website will be a million times more friendly, customer friendly, anybody friendly, to be honest with you. But to get more information about the senior program, I believe you can go under the tab that says others and then where all the forms are, and we could find the actual detailed schedules. It's in there. It's not the most easy place to find it, but that's where you can get the application and it tells you everything you need to see if you qualify for that program.
On the tab that says what?
I believe it's on the top, it says other, about, and then.
Oh, about,
others,
okay.
And then you can see, we'll say policies, forms and all that stuff, it's in there. Not the
Okay,
most easily located spot, but that is where to find it at the moment.
okay.
Not-
Thank you very much.
Forever.
All right, Tony, send me an email and I'll help you find it. My email's akriska@steamshipauthority.com.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I would send you, have you call Angela, but she's got enough on her plate right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Emily? Emily?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hi, I just wanted to follow up on the previous person about staffing, etc. I just kind of wanted to reiterate as a business owner in Oak Bluffs how much it affects us when all the OB boats for a day get canceled. It really hurts our business and it's very noticeable. So I just kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on that. It sounds like you're gonna be in better place this year, but much better in a couple of years. Just want to hear your thoughts on that.
Now, were you asking that question in regards to diversions or crew levels?
Just my experience last year and the year before was we'd have like all of a sudden a terrible business day and we didn't know why, like just it was just down. And then we'd go on the Steamship Authority, oh, all the boats to OB were canceled. And it was just very evident, time and time again. So I don't know if it's crew levels. Now, it was not days that were, bad weather. I totally understand that Cause yeah, I mean, I drive down, Seaview Ave going to work, so I can see if it's waves. That wasn't the case.
Well, as you most likely understand that we have no breakwater out there, and when we have wind and
Oh, yeah,
current
no.
in certain directions, it puts a surge in, and we want to deliver safely our passengers and vehicles, to Oak Bluffs.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally
It's very
understand that.
challenging.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
totally understand, wind and waves, etc. These were due to staffing, issues.
Yeah, I think last year was a much greater improvement, and we believe this summer is going to be even stronger with our crewing. We've been increasing it. We had a lot of retirees come up over the past couple of years, and we've built up the bullpen, and we continue to do that. So I believe that we're going to have a good year this year relative to staffing.
Great. I appreciate that so much. I just kind of want to keep it on your radar that it really does affect us in OB when it's diverted to VH. So,
No, I totally understand that, and that's a big deal. We're gonna try to make Oak Bluffs a big deal this year. Unfortunately, it's a nationwide issue, is the lack of qualified maritime officers. I think you might have seen things coming out of Washington about it. They're doing a lot to try to bulk up training for maritime professionals. I know my school has gotten a big plug-in from the Army Corps of Engineers to try to build up the number of maritime officers they got coming out there. And it's not just us here on the Cape. I mean, it's a challenge for us to get people here because of the cost of living on the Cape. But it's a challenge in Seattle. It's a challenge in San Francisco. It's a challenge all over the country. And unfortunately, there are big efforts being done nationwide to try to increase the number of maritime professionals. And I know that our team here does a really good job. We have a number of people in the pipeline coming up. So I think we're going to be okay this year. I think we'll be good, and we'll even be better next year, and we'll continue to build that up.
I really appreciate that so much. I think, if anything, I'd ask if there was a staffing issue, don't cancel all the boats, Toby. Cancel, half of them or something, So thank you very much. I appreciate your attention to that.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Christine.
So hi. So yeah, I have a question. It's not so much about the reservation as it is when you have walk-on passengers and you're trying to communicate to them an interruption of service. And I'm wondering if there can be something implemented at the ticket office when you are selling a ticket or somebody's buying one online where they have to give their either email address or phone number, cell phone number, so they can be notified when there is a pending interruption of service, so that you don't have people showing up to the boat who don't have a reservation for a vehicle, who are then left standing there not knowing what to do. And yeah, I'm just trying to figure out ways that we can make a better mechanism for communicating to the public in general, whether they're walk on or drive on. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I know definitely. As Tom said, in the new system, I'll say the new system. That's going to be part of it when you buy a ticket. But also, one of the things we're looking at, we're looking into changing our advertising policy. And one of the things we're looking at is having digital screens in the terminal, not so much outside the terminal, because we don't want to do that, but having screens inside the terminal, and those screens would be partly for advertising, but also for updates on vessel status. So the boat's running late, the boat's arriving, the boat's getting ready to leave, whatever that is. And that'd be another way for us to publish the information about that the boat's late. So people, we're trying to find all the different ways we can communicate changes in schedules. So having people walking around talking about it, having the ticket seller tell you when you pick up your ticket, having a digital sign there that can help. We're trying to find as many ways as we can to communicate the information out, because we realize in the still digital age, people, you need to be able to give them multiple avenues to get the information.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get a text before they leave their house to go to the boat, knowing that it's canceled, that might make a difference
Yeah.
in someone's life. And
Yeah, and we do have, the current system, even we have a sign up, you can opt in. When you buy a ticket, you get messages, but also if you just opted in to getting updates from the Steamship Authority, if you know you're a regular user, you can opt in and sign up for updates and you'll get those updates. And again, it's not always that it's, like I said, it's frankly, that's not necessarily always timely, because sometimes we don't know that a boat's gonna get canceled until 10 minutes after it's supposed to departure time, because the crew's down there in the engine room trying to get something fixed, trying to get the boat out, because their number one priority is to get that boat out and get it rolling, because they know that there's a subsequent boat and a subsequent departure on the other side that they need to try to reach for. So they do everything they can to actually make it happen. So sometimes that first boat, you don't know that it's gonna get canceled until unfortunately 5 or 10 minutes after they're supposed to leave, because they're down there working their butts off trying to get it going.
And I hear you, they don't know sometimes, but sometimes hearing we don't know is better than nothing.
Sure, yeah. Again, it's we're constantly working on our communication. That's something we can work on.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Ollie, do you have another question?
Nope, I have no idea why it was still, I'll lower my hand. Sorry.
That's okay. Quite okay.
Bye.
RC.
Hi, y'all. I was just wanting to make a suggestion to the phone lines. I think it'd be great if, when calling for a reservation, if it was let known how long they would be on wait for. You know how you like call some companies and they tell you how long?
Sure.
10 minutes, half hour, 40
Yeah,
minutes. I think that would be
You're the third
helpful.
person in line, you're probably be 10 minutes. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great. I think that's something we can look at with future phone systems.
And callback numbers as well.
Yeah, modern phone systems do give you that option, like, if you don't wanna stand in line, we'll call you back. Yeah, we have a phone system that's, I don't know circa what, but it doesn't have that capability, but that's something we're looking at upgrading our phone system.
It's not circular rest system, so that's good.
That's good, yeah. So we do recognize that's, something we've realized in these conversations, that coupled with a new reservation system, we probably need a new phone system as well, because we're gonna get a lot of phone calls. So that's something we're working on as well. So that's a great suggestion. Thank you for that.
thank you.
Annalise. Oh,
Ann, go ahead.
I got it. I was asking about the Bourne Bridge schedule. I heard you talking about it earlier and I don't know enough about it.
yeah, they're doing some initial, I'm not sure exactly what the work is, but I don't know, has it started?
No, not yet, next
It's
week.
due to start in the next week or so. They're gonna be shutting down, going down to one lane of traffic each direction. And through mid-May or sometime in May, so it's a good, about 4 weeks. And so there's gonna be some serious traffic issues. I know it's been out in the paper, we put it out on our website, sent it out to people. But yeah, it's not. I think it's part of the whole plan to rebuild the bridge, but this is something separate. The actual bridge reconstruction is not gonna start for at least a year or so, but this is gonna be a challenge for people for about a month, starting in the next week or two.
According to this, it says April 27th to May 20th.
Okay, April 27th to May 20th is the estimated time frame where the bridge you're gonna see some constriction on the bridge.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Matt?
Yeah, just to follow up on that, because the Bourne Bridge is such a critical element of getting to and from the vineyard. Is there a source of truth or a website that you can recommend that helps us better understand what's happening or what potentially might happen, just to get some general sense? Because it sounds as though this electrical work was a bit of a surprise, and of Granted, it's not in July, but still, the more we know, the better.
I would believe it'd be under the Army Corps of Engineers is where you would find it, because they're the ones that are in charge of the upkeep of the bridges, so. I haven't gone yet, online yet to look myself, but I would assume that either that or MassDOT.
Yeah, it's either the Army Corps of Engineers or MassDOT. I don't have it myself. I'm just trying to look. Yeah, mass.gov, there's latest updates, Cape Cod Bridges Project. I'm not sure they'll tell you about this, but there are. Yeah, no, this website. I'm trying to look it up as we're talking. I
Yeah.
don't see it. It's talking about the future construction. I think the future construction is being handled by Mass.dot, but this current construction is gonna be done by the Army Corps. It's just part of the regular maintenance.
I do see.
As we're talking, you don't mind, Matt, we'll take some other questions, and I'm sure.
Great.
We'll
Thank you.
try to look up there and see if we can find a website for you.
Yeah.
There's stuff on the Army Corps site. So.
Yeah. Christine?
Thank you again for indulging me. I'm concerned about the attention that we're paying to human resource support to the agents who are going to be dealing with all of these upcoming changes, not yourselves not included, or no, yourselves included. I'm hoping that the steamship is going to invest some financial support for the employees who are going to be dealing with all of these questions, all of these changes as they are implemented, whenever they are. I think it's really important that the employees who are on the front lines feel the support of the organization behind them. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Angela Campbell manages our Mashpee office, and she does an incredibly great job down there. But I know she needs support. She needs a new phone system. She needs more hands on the phones down there to be able to support this. We have ideas. We know how much call volume we get now, and I can only imagine it's going to get a lot more once we put this new system into place. So we're going to give her as much support as possible, whether it's more people, more training, and the same things can go with our terminals, Woods Hole, Hyannis, Nantucket, Vineyard Haven. We're going to give training is a big component, not just for the people using the system and the general public, but also for our people. They need to know how it works, and they need to be comfortable with it. So we have to do a lot of training on our side, both internally and externally, and we have to put it's going to take a lot of resources and a lot of support and a lot of time. We recognize that, and we're going to do our level best to make it as smooth for everybody as we possibly can. And I say that because the next person up is Angela, and I hope she doesn't call me to task on that.
No, I thank you for that. It's really important.
Yeah. No, our personnel on the front line, and they have to feel we don't want to leave them out in the cold.
Thank you.
Angela Campbell, first time caller, long time listener.
Hello. I just wanted to follow up on the comment about the bridges. All the information that I got regarding the closures and information is on the Army Corps of Engineers website. I do have the link, so I can get it out to people if they need it. But if you go onto the Army Corps of Engineers website, they do have that information on there.
Great, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I'm seeing it here now. So they do. The Army Corps of Engineers has a New England District section, and they have updates on the canal bridges there.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
And they also have a Facebook page I'm seeing here. So the Army Corps has a Facebook page as well for their New England area.
Emily?
Hey, okay, so I did have another question. I raised this in a previous town hall, I think, about the transferable Head Start reservations. Have you
Yep.
guys, my concern was only one was way too little, especially for us who have to do short-term rentals. Have you guys adjusted that, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, that's a challenge. We actually had passed the idea of the policy that all transfers had to be done on the day of purchase, that you basically had to automatically transfer it to somebody. But
Oh.
subsequently, we went back and looked at it again, and we realized that there's a lot of people that actually do transfer later, and we recognize there's a lot of people that rely on those short-term rentals as part of their livelihood. So while the challenge again is that within the system, it's either on all or nothing kind of thing. Either we allow transfers go wild and free, or we control them and basically say there's no transfers. So what we've tried to decide to do is we're gonna restrict the transfers, but we're gonna ask you to call in and work with us, and we'll work with you. Say, hey, I have a ticket, I need to transfer it, and we're gonna work with you and accommodate you. Because the challenge was that people would basically, there's a bit of a black market out there. People would buy tickets and then, wait until later on in the season and sell it for a profit. So we want to we want to discourage that and make sure it's being used for island residents. So while we realize that we're kind of shutting the barn door, and that was a mistake, because there's a lot of people that actually do rely on it for proper good reason. So
Yeah.
please, give us a call. We'll work with you and help transfer it.
Because in
Yeah,
our
I
current
had-
system, it does flag X amount for transferables, and you can do it another date. With the new system, it's either you transfer or you don't transfer, and if you can transfer it to your heart's content, and that defeats the purpose of the program.
Yeah, so I guess I want to expand on that then. First of all, I had no idea that people were doing this for profit. That's awful. Is there another way to safeguard it? Like we use it legit. The past couple of years, July doesn't rent like it has in the past. So I currently have July 4th week open, and I have a transferable ticket. And that's like kind of my extra to the world, okay, you're booking late, but I have a boat ticket,
Right.
you
That's
know.
perfect.
Yeah. And if I don't have that, I don't know that I'd rent that week, so there's gotta be a way to
I have
kind
to
of,
say,
go ahead.
I would say there's a lot of the people will try to sell their tickets on Facebook on some of the different pages. And you have a small group of islanders that are extremely vigilant on when they find those customers that are trying to do that and trying to ruin the system for everybody, that they will reach out to our communications department, myself, Angela, anybody, to report them so it doesn't continue to happen, which is amazing. So it's kind of scary that people still try to do that, but unfortunately that's what happens. But we are looking at a way to doing it so you can still potentially be able to transfer that ticket.
And again, it's on our side, it's gonna require communication on our side, that we communicate to the islanders and to the full-time residents or people who have second homes that they're renting out, communicate to them that the option is still there. We just want you to call us and talk to us, and on our side, it's gonna take training on our side, and we have to have the staff with the capability to accommodate you. And so when you give us a call and you say you wanna transfer it, we're gonna work with you and get that done for you. So we're gonna get to know our passengers really well through this new system, which is a great.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm a little concerned that it doesn't sound very formal, but
No, you're right. It's not formal. Unfortunately, that's because the way the system's set up, it's either an all or nothing thing. And we want to be able to work with our people and give them something. So it's not fully a formalized thing, but we will have policies and procedures in place. So we'll work with our team. So it is fairly routinized on our side.
okay, so basically in the future, say for next summer season, I'm gonna have some way when I go to do Head Start to communicate to somebody, okay, I need these two for these weeks that I don't have rented.
Right.
There's going to be some kind of line of
Yeah,
communication with you guys.
Yeah, you can buy those tickets and hold on to them, knowing that you're gonna then, at some point, you're gonna give us a call and say, hey, okay, I've secured my renter. Here's the name, please transfer the tickets to this email address or this phone number.
It could be something like you put a comment in on certain reservations saying transferable. And when the time comes, you call up Mashpee, to transfer the ticket. And then potentially they could flag something in the system, so we know that it's already been transferred once and that's it. So we
Yeah.
don't perpetuate the issues.
Totally understand. And I want to work with you guys too. Yeah, it's like figuring it out. Okay, great.
So it might be a little bit more of a wonkier step, but we're working on trying to figure out something for this.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we've been here for an hour. We're happy to take other questions. If you have questions about anything else. The Red Sox, the Bruins. Christine.
Gotta unmute. Thank you all for everything you're doing. I know it's hard work. I know it's complicated and it's very challenging. And I just want to thank you all for all the public presentations that you're doing, information that you're providing, the feedback that you're taking in, and expressing to us in the most cohesive way that you can the restrictions that you have to work within, which, so it's a give and take here. We're not going to be happy with everything, and we'd like it to be a perfect world, but it's not. But I want to thank you, from really, for all the communication that you are presenting to our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Christine, and please, we do welcome the feedback and any suggestions on how we can do it better, so. These sessions are more valuable to us than they are to the public, I will say that.
And also, just like that the system in year 2 may look different than year 1. We're gonna be going through a learning curve and there's gonna be changes, so we're just trying to get ahead of it and so everyone has a good understanding of the system.
You guys are great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I'd just like to second that. What a world of difference just to have a line of communication. Like truly a world of difference. Thank you.
Thank you. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we're gonna do a little something. Our Oak Bluffs terminal is opening up for the season on May 14th. And we're working through what we can do. We're gonna have a little bit of an opening day ceremony there, so I encourage everybody to come out for that day and enjoy whatever it is we can pull together, so. So we're gonna.
I'll chime in on that. I'm actually working on that. Yeah, so we're gonna try to make a big to-do about the first boat coming in. We're calling it First Ferry. And we're gonna have a ribbon cutting ceremony. And we're gonna have backdoor donuts and some coffee available for people. And we're gonna be handing out what we're calling keys to Oak Bluffs with little discounts for the first ferry that's coming over. So we're trying to make a fun little unofficial start to the Oak Bluffs summer season on May 14th.
That'd be great, great.
I think there was one more down.
I think they put their hand back down again. Okay, we're gonna have another one of these sessions tomorrow night, so you're welcome to come and join us again for tomorrow night, and won't be anything different. There's maybe a few different questions that we asked. Our next board meeting is actually next Tuesday. We always encourage people to come and participate in the board meetings. This one's gonna be in New Bedford, so maybe most of you probably want to zoom in online, but we welcome people to participate in those. The more the merrier. Other than that, great new excitements. We have our Vessel of the Monomoy gonna be coming on stream here pretty soon, in the next couple of weeks, and you will see her sneakily join the schedule at some point. Other than that, the Daffodil Festival is in a couple of weeks out on Nantucket. That's a great time. The Martha's Vineyard Marathon, I guess, is that weekend as well. So I'm just kind of filling space here. Well, if there's no other questions, I will say thank you so much for participating. Thank you very much for the suggestions, the comments, the questions, the support. Thank you very much for coming out. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your dinner, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 5 o'clock again. Thank you very much. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.